statutes that we have to address. 3- and 4-year-old children have to be harnessed in. We can get a waiver for that. And I talked to Roy Prince, the transportation director for the State Department, and he doesn't advise that, but he says a lot of districts are doing it. Floyd County put their Head Start kids on the regular bus routes, and we can do that. We have to do some scheduling, and it's going to take a lot of scheduling, a lot of work, and a lot of planning.
Now, Ray, let me say something. The 7 bus drivers are going to be absorbed into our bus driver fleet. Those 7 drivers will not lose their jobs.
Yeah. Well, right now,
make sure that's
I'm looking at 3 drivers retiring, and I have another one that may leave because of sickness. So, you know, absorbing those drivers, and I might have to put more buses on the rails if we do it with the big run. If we put them on the regular runs. The problem with putting 3- and 4-year-old kids on a regular run, they're going to be catching the bus at 6:30 in the morning, some of them, and getting home at 4 or 4:30 in the evening. For a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old. And there's some other rigs that they have to have people to assist them on the bus. They have to have an assistant on the bus. You know, these are things that we have to look at. And I have contacted Johnson County. Their director was out of town, but the secretary left him a message. They are doing that. I've contacted BOE County. I'm not sure how long BOE County's been doing it, but I've contacted 3 different and trying to get some data and trying to get some information to see what kind of ideas they can give us and how they handled it and how they feel like it's working with them. So you know, we'll get some of that data back. I'll give it to you. I'll present it to you. We'll have to make some decisions about what we want to do with these preschool kids.
Now, this was not a decision that we made. The grantee office basically brought me in Miss Elliott and said, that's the cut you're going to have to take.
Mr. Blackburn and I talked about this in the fall when Floyd County was doing it. I had met with their transportation director. She said that they were getting bombarded with complaints and calls from them because Head Start parents are used to the bus coming right to the door, picking the kid up, an aide on the bus helping them, and they put them on their regular bus rides. They cleared the first 3 seats in the big buses, and she said that they had a lot of issues at first, but it's worked its way, it's smoothed over, and it's working pretty good right now. So we talked about it in the fall about, you know, is it a possibility, something we could do? We just didn't feel like our community really would want that, but now we're kind of forced into it.
What are the ages of the students?
They're being
3 and 4. No, I mean that they would be on the bus with.
Well, the ones that are on the bus now, we're losing those, right? Correct. They'll be, if we do a full day, they won't be able to do a full day of Head Start and then ride the bus in the morning and evening. They'll be working 10-hour days.
And that's what I was. Yeah, what is the day?
Floyd County puts high school students as assistants on the bus. They train them, they reward them, and they have to pay insurance on them. They put high school students on the bus to help with the Head Start kids. Now, I don't know what Johnson and Boyd, but that's one of my areas because...
And you said they are doing that?
Yes.
The other districts?
Yes, Floyd County.
I can speak for Boyd County.
Yeah.
They, in the morning, the little kids are on the bus and they're in a harness and their little bottoms overhead seats. Okay?
Yeah.
Hooked in there. But they ride the bus with all the way through high school. And in the evenings, because the elementary school is let out earlier than the high school, so in the evenings riding home, they only ride with up through 5th grade.
And that's just what she said. There's one of the things that I'm looking at is trying to, at Eden, we have 3 buses that take all the Eden kids home. And I'm trying to look at, can we do that at every elementary school, add the Head Start kids to those buses, maybe dismiss them a little earlier at 3, and because we hold the high school, what, they're 25 now, and hold the middle school and high school, put them on a different bus. Now, that's going to be a little cost because we're going to be running buses. We're going to be taking the elementary bus up Mead House, and then we're going to be taking the middle school, high school bus up Mead House. But it keeps those elementary kids from riding the bus with bigger kids. It's just something that really one of the options I'm looking at.
I think in the mornings it's not bad because they're still asleep.
Right.
In the
And
evenings
Kids Start 1, they only go 4 days a week, correct?
4 days.
4 days a week, so that's going to be, you know, we're going to make a bus route for elementary kids and Head Start kids, and then on the 5th day there won't be any Head Start kids on there.
What time does the Head Start get out?
Now, right now they start at 8:30 and dismiss at 1:30. But they will have a full day if they ride the regular bus.
Well, the problem is that well, like in Floyd County, where they use high school kids to help harness them in and things like that? Who's going to help in the evening when they ride the bus?
That's some of the things I've got to find out.
Yeah.
We found out, Miss Ellie and I talked about this the Thursday before spring break. And so I'm trying to gather some information and get all that I can
And
to
what would
help
they
with the
do?
buses.
What would they do that extra time? I mean,
They'll stay in school.
That'll be up to them.
learning?
Now, they also cut 4 instructional days out as well. Right now, it's a 132-day year for the Head Start. That we're down to 128 days next year.
You've had a shortage of drivers, right? I mean, so that kind of, you've had a shortage of drivers, right? I mean, you've had,
Do I have one?
I said you have had a shortage of drivers, you know, through
We
this year,
have,
right?
yes.
So those 7 drivers, you say there were 7, can they be absorbed right in the system without?
Yes. They'll be absorbed, and we'll have to add some runs. I mean, we're talking about putting 120 more kids on buses, on regular buses. You know, so we'll have to make some of the regular runs. We may have to put a slider bus in here and a bus in there, depending on where most of these students come from, their location. I mean, it's going to take some planning, and I don't have the answers for you. I'm sorry, but I'm working on it.
Well, we just want to make sure that it was out there, that everybody knew what was happening. We didn't want any surprises.
Any further questions?
I think we want to do the... Okay, we do have some more presentations on the board agenda tonight. Ms. Ellie's already done hers. She's done for us a little bit. But our first presentation will be to Kathy Kerr. Ms. Kerr, all of you know her. She's a teacher at Warfield Elementary School. She's got her national board certification this year. You know, Ms. Kerr is I know Ms. Kerr personally and professionally. She's a great asset to the system. You know, she's taught all 3 of my children, so I know her work quite well, and she's done an excellent job. We definitely want to recognize Ms. Kerr.
She's actually nominated for Social Studies Teacher of the Year as well. I was letting them know that you were actually nominated for Social Studies Teacher of the Year too. She is an excellent, excellent teacher.
Michael, do you care to
No, I'm good. Go ahead. I need my mug shot.
You don't want people to do it.
That's about you, not me. You're one.
Now, we also want to recognize Ms. Carol Chapin. Come on up, Carol. And a couple of students from Warfield Middle School. But Carol, we'll let you let you explain what they did. And
during the school year, we had what's called FCCLA, and in our school, out of our students, we had 90 participants. All through the year, we do lots of community service. My students have done probably over 1,000 hours worth of community service this year. And this is not just these students, but we do things like going to the nursing home, making sure everybody there gets a present for Christmas. We work with Rita Stanley in the Youth Service Center, and I think she gave out close to 200 food baskets, bought clothing and toys for kids. They work with the Board of Education on the Safe House. We just do numerous community service projects throughout the year. Then with their core content, they learn things like how to run a board meeting, Robert's Rule of Orders, and all of the activities that they're involved in is all core content related. And these kids have raised probably over $1,000 for cancer this year, not including pop tabs for Ronald McDonald House and March of Dimes. They have done numerous projects and hours and hours and hours. My husband never does when we get home. A couple weeks ago, it was like 10:30 one night, 9:30 one night, Saturdays. But these FCCLA stands for Families, Careers, and Community Leaders of America. If you don't start now learning kids how to be leaders, they're not going to know how to be a leader. And these girls, along with 2 others that couldn't be here this evening, these students participated in a state competition against every school in the state of Kentucky. They competed not only against middle school, but they competed against all the state's high schools. And these 2 girls took first place in the state of Kentucky against 417. they get to go. And this is Amber.